we see a lot of folks that, jump in and they buy their home and they get excited. They get pre-qualified for, say 400,000, 500,000, whatever it may, million, 300, whatever it could be. And, immediately it seems like people want to jump to the top tier of their of things without taking into consideration some of the costs in actually owning a home. Matt, you and I were talking about these costs. What are some of the costs that people kind of overlook, in your opinion, that you see?
The most consistent parts of every one of those conversations is, how to plan for post-closing costs when it comes to real estate, and whether you're doing it the right way, the wrong way, the recommended way, what's going on here. And this kind of goes in hand with the competitiveness nature of the market right now. So a lot of people are doing waiving their home inspections, or they're saying I'll guarantee 10,000, 20,000, 25,000 over the appraised value if it doesn't appraise for the purchase price. They're coming up with all these different what they would consider, and sometimes are very competitive ways to become the owner of the new home and beat out all the competition. If you're going to waive home inspections, the recommendation is to at least do a post-closing home inspection, so you can still get a qualified home inspector to test drive the house, pinpoint anything that they can see as an area of concern or what to focus on as far as a priority, to make sure that you guys, that homeowners aren't don't already have an existing problem that will just get worse over time, to try to get it solved. So a home inspection is generally $500-600. So right now we're getting up to close to $2,000 to $4,000 with moving and home inspection. Then it's the cost of repairing all of it, whatever that is. So a lot of times it's usually the first time home buyers that I have to really sit down and explain these to, because they've never done it before.
Oh, yeah.
So and if they're on a budget and they're going to their max and they're really getting low on their checking account when it comes down to closing and what's going to be there left after, I really take a moment to say, is this the appropriate thing to do? Like, do you really feel comfortable doing this? Should we wait a little bit more until you have these funds saved up, or is there a plan to take care of this cost? Because if not, it causes a lot of stress in your life. It makes it a lot if you do spend whatever funds you do have, and then now there's no money left over to make your first mortgage payment. I mean, that's not great either. I tend to take that moment of reflection before we move too fast and get people under a contract on something they maybe aren't super prepared to do it. Another thing is, when I hear people that when I get a customer that applies that already owns a house, let's say you're selling it with your team, you guys are primed and ready to go to sell homes at the top dollar of the market right now. That's what your specialty is. And when people see what they think that their house is worth and what it might sell for, and then what it actually sells for, 9 times out of 10, it's for more than what they thought that it was going to, especially in a market like this. So they'll all of a sudden come across funds that they weren't planning on having. Like, it's a bonus, like it's a fluff, it's extraness. And they're like, oh, let me just put this more down on the mortgage so my mortgage payment is less. Well, okay, great idea, but let's also consider doing something else with this money, which would be paying off any high interest revolving credit cards, any high interest auto loans, student loans. How about we put less money down and take care of the other debts on your score, on your credit report? And what does that look like? That makes room for a higher mortgage payment. So now that you don't have all this other money going out to other debts, it also increases your FICO score, because now you're paying off debt. And then you're saving your money, you're saving money on interest overall, because the interest rates for mortgages are in the 3s. So take a low interest 30-year fixed loan and increase the loan amount, and then save some of that money to put down and pay down other debts, save it for moving costs, save it for furniture, save it for repairs, save it for a nest egg on a rainy day, whatever you got to do. But don't go and just automatically move it all over unless you have a plan for all that other stuff.